Happy Wednesday. Let me just go live here on Instagram. All right. You see who's here with me?
Hello, everyone.
Haven't been able to get her on live virtually from Canada, but now she's here visiting me in DC, so she didn't have a choice but to come live with me this week. So I hope you guys are well. My name is Dr. Simran, and this is my mom,
Minnie Malhotra.
and we've been coming live mostly every Wednesday around this time to talk about the benefits of lifestyle as medicine and to prepare simple, healthy, plant-based recipes and show you how easy and fun it can be to be in the kitchen while we nourish ourselves. So this is really where my journey started 10 years ago. I didn't know how to cook. She's always been a cook. It's been one of her passions since she was a young kid. But for me, cooking really became a way to control what I could to reduce my risk of cancer. When I found out I have the BRCA1 genetic mutation 10 years ago, I started cooking with, Purple Carrot and Blue Apron and all of those home delivery kits, and then calling my mom constantly, asking her how to make this, that, and the other. And slowly over the last 10 years have sort of built up my skill set in the kitchen. And now I'm honestly empowering my kids to do the same. They have way more skills at 6 and 8 than I had to cook, but then also know why we're eating the foods we're eating and what impact they have on our health. When I was 8, I did not know that blueberries are good for our brain because of something called anthocyanins, which are a type of antioxidant, but my daughter will tell you all about them. So I think food is food, yes, to enjoy and to savor the taste. And it's certainly something that's passed down in families as part of culture and all sorts of things. However, food is also so important for our health and our health span and our quality of life. And when we know the power of the foods that we're putting in our body, or the foods that we choose not to eat so much of, it can do such a big service to our bodies, right? So thank you for joining us. It is actually, I like to celebrate everything really big. So my birthday was actually on Friday, and it's not just my birthday, but it becomes my birthday weekend, and then it becomes my birth week, and then it becomes my birth month. So we had a really big celebration this weekend, which was so beautiful because it was also International Women's Day. So to all my women out there, sending you guys so much love and appreciation for all you do, for everyone whose lives you guys touch. So today, in honor of that, we're actually going to be making another sweet treat. I know I just made cookies, but we're actually going to be making, this is not in color, but we're going to be making these dark chocolate vegan truffles. And at the same time, the idea is that it is really easy to make sweet treats and indulgences that we want once in a while at home. But then also, the recipe we're making today is filled with some ingredients that I would not necessarily consider healthful ingredients, but once in a while as an indulgence and treat, it's okay. But at the same time, my mom just whipped up some energy bites that are made with mostly whole plant foods. So we'll show you those as well and kind of tell you what's in those. But before we jump into that, I wanted to share an announcement. So for those of you guys that have been following me for a while, I'm a big fan of momentum boosting tools, right? So sometimes we can get in a rut, not sometimes, a lot of times people can get in a rut, get stuck in routines, especially when you have young kids, you have busy schedules. It's easy to just choose the convenience way. It's easy to just say, I'm tired at the end of the day and Netflix and chill. And it's easy to just stay comfortable in your, whatever routine it is that you're doing. And so I think one of the things on my journey that helped my husband and I was really joining a program or some sort of kickstart to help reset where we are to give us momentum. Because once you generate momentum, just like anything, right? Once you generate momentum with your health, you see results. Your clothes are fitting better, you have more energy, you're sleeping better, your mood is better, your energy is better. Once you start seeing those wins, you automatically start making the healthier choice. You automatically say, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym because I'm feeling good, or I'm not going to eat this meal because I know it's not good for me. I'm going to choose this instead. You start making more intentional decisions, because once you start feeling better, you start doing better. And so in honor of that, one of the things I wanted to invite you guys to is one of the programs that I absolutely love, that's backed by 25 years of science, 30 plus clinical trials at some major institutions, including the NIH, is Prolon. So if you've been following me for a while, you know all about Prolon. And it is otherwise known as the fasting mimicking diet. In a nutshell, it gives your bodies gives your body the benefit of a prolonged fast, of a 5-day fast, while still getting to eat and drink some pretty delicious food. Actually, I've been doing these fasts since 2019, a few times a year, and the reason I started doing them was because I have a genetic mutation. And so, I really wanted to do everything that was in my power to, to, reduce my risk of cancer, right? Like when I was 26, I was told I have an 87% lifetime risk of cancer, and a breast cancer, and a 60% lifetime risk of ovarian cancer. I have a very strong family history. And so for me, lifestyle really became, the foundation, but also using tools like this to be able to tap into cellular rejuvenation, cellular reset, cellular health became really important. I learned about something called autophagy, which is basically your body's own internal recycling system, or your body's own cleaning system. So when you don't eat for a while, it gives your body the ability to recycle all the old parts, old proteins, old cellular components that are no longer working well. And down the road, as this junk collects, it increases our risk of certain diseases. And so doing this sort of cellular reset and rejuvenation process, 15, 20 days out of the year, is such a gift to your body. And so I do them every 4-5 months or so, and my next fast is coming up March 31st to April 4th. And I've been doing them alone up until about a year and a half ago, when I started inviting people to do them with me, and I started hosting these group fasts. And oh my God, I wish I had it when I first started doing them, because they're so much easier to do in a group, and they're so much more fun because you have the motivation, you have the accountability and the support. So next Wednesday, March 19th, from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a masterclass on everything you need to know about the fasting mimicking diet, about this program right here. And it's co-hosted by Renee Fitton, who's the director of education. She's a dietitian at Prolon. She's wonderful. But yeah, we're going to be going through this whole program. We're going to be going through this whole program. We're going to be going through the science. We're going to be going through what you can expect during the 5-day fast, the benefits, what it looks like, what you get if you join my group. Who is this for? Honestly, it's for the busy professional. It's for the busy parent. It's for the person who has not yet been diagnosed with any diseases, but is starting to feel not right, low energy, brain fog, fatigue, weight gain, that person that might be in the perimenopause, time frame, or someone like me who's a genetic mutation carrier, who hasn't had cancer, but really wants to do everything in their control to take care of their cellular health. So really, it's for those people. And who is it not for? If you have diabetes and you're on, blood sugar lowering medications, or you're on insulin, then this program is not for you. But L Nutra Health does have special 6 and 12-month programs catered to people who are diagnosed or living with a medical condition being treated with medications. And so if you're interested in those programs, reach out to me and I can refer you in the right direction. Otherwise, if you want the registration link for the masterclass next week, please send me a message after this live is over and I will send you the registration link. And otherwise, if you know you want to join my group, I would absolutely love to have you. We already have a fun group going, and it's actually going to be Minnie's first time doing the program. So I'm very excited for her. And yeah, I have a 20% affiliate link that you can get off your 5-day kit. So send me a message and I will get that information over to you with the discount link and also the registration code, registration link, sorry. Otherwise, we will get started. All right, Min, come show us what we're doing. So we're gonna make dark chocolate vegan truffles. If you want the recipe, comment truffles after I post this at the end of the live and you will get the recipe. This is really a great sweet treat indulgence to add to your next, party menu, or if you want to make something for a friend, this is a great option. Or if you just want to make them for yourself, then hey, you deserve it too. I think the main thing to remember is I would not consider this a health food. We did add cocoa to it, so there are a lot of benefits to cocoa powder, which we can talk about, but the recipe is mostly made from unsweetened chocolate chips. So we used dark mini vegan chocolate chips. We use the Enjoy Life brand, and then we have some shaved coconut and then coconut cream, and that's about it. So
We need about 1 cup of the coconut cream.
okay.
Okay. And then we need the chocolate chip bag is done. Okay, chocolate chips are here. They look like something like this, right? So you need 1 3/4 cup of chocolate chip and 1 cup of coconut cream. So you pour the coconut cream on the stove and let it simmer. That when it brings to a little bit of a simmer, then add chocolate chip and mix it well. And that's what it looks like. It takes less than a minute.
I would say just be careful because make sure you're there stirring it, otherwise it can burn.
Right. So then once this is cooled a bit, then put it in the fridge for 3 hours. Make it, it will make like a dough. So make rolls out of it like
Do you
something.
want to mix it up? Are you going to mix it up or?
No, this won't mix it up now.
You're not going to mix it so you can put your dough in the fridge?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's going to be too soft, so we won't be able to make the truffles right now. So you got to make your mix, and then you're going to put the mix in the fridge for about 3 hours to let it...
Make it like a dough, cookie dough.
Yeah. Let us know where you're joining from. Let us know if you have any questions, any thoughts, any comments. It's always easier to talk to people than to talk to yourself. So we'll do that. And then in terms of, cocoa, right? So I've been using a lot of cocoa powder, just pure cocoa powder in a few different ways. Because I've been on my strength training journey, I found out a couple of years ago I was osteopenic or had low bone density because I'm in premature menopause. Strength training became really, really important for me over the past couple of years. And so I actually just got my recent DEXA scan after 2 years, and it showed that my bone density is actually back in the normal range, which is absolutely phenomenal, and just goes to show you that the little effort you put in every single day, it will make a difference down the road, right? I started lifting weights about 2 years ago, and that was all by myself. And now I'm working with a personal trainer, and my goal is to gain even more muscle mass this year. And I came across this one study in older people, what they saw for 12 weeks when they consumed 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, it actually increased muscle strength, muscle mass, grip strength, and just overall physical performance. And so
Really?
it's pretty like phenomenal, right? Like you could mix this in warm milk, you could mix this as a hot chocolate you could make energy balls out of this, you could add it, I add it to my protein shake right before my workout. So just an everyday pantry staple can do so much for your muscle mass, right? So the more you know, the better you can do. So Minnie's gonna add.
Then, we need 1/4 cup of coconut and 1/4 cup of the cocoa powder. We don't have the like this, like a dough for truffle, but we will just for example, we will dip this in this just for you guys to see.
So you're just coating it in the chocolate.
Yeah. And then you let it cool. And then you can roll it in the coconut powder.
So I usually wait for my mom to come to make these for me because it's such a messy project, and it's just I just wait for her to come, and then she will make them and freeze them, and my kids love eating them, so they're definitely great, but it's just such a messy project. But anyways, so cocoa powder has something in there called flavonoids, right? And flavonoids have, the other thing I was looking up is that because they boost blood flow and improve circulation, that's one way that they're really good for, muscle recovery and strength training and physical performance. But the other thing they have been shown to do is also boost circulation to your skin. And honestly, lately I've been getting so many compliments on my skin health, and I don't know if this has something to do with it, but I did see that there are some studies showing that cocoa powder can also boost circulation to your skin, which can make your skin more hydrated and can even reduce kind of wrinkles and improve overall skin health. So I think that maybe the cocoa powder might be doing something, I don't know, in addition to the other things that I'm doing, because I've been doing cocoa powder almost every day for a couple of months now, since I've been drinking my protein shakes. And my protein shake also has cocoa powder in it. I use the Prolon L protein. So yeah. And then cocoa powder is also great for mood and energy. It has something in there known as theobromine. And so theobromine is found in dark chocolate, cocoa powder, great for energy. It has like mood boosting properties, enhances like happy hormones. So that's why people like love chocolate, right? It's an aphrodisiac as well. So all right, I don't know what Minnie's doing here, but she's now covering the chocolate with cocoa powder.
That will make a truffle, right? Like that's something they will
make the truffle.
The chocolate dough.
All right, well, so here again, once the chocolate hardens, it will be easier to make these, but this is kind of an idea of what it would look like. So this is the coconut chocolate truffle right here. And then you can also, if you don't want coconut, you can also just cover it in cocoa powder, which is kind of how most truffles are.
Or you can eat it the way it is.
Or you can just eat it the way it is too. Now remember, it's made with coconut. You know, these chocolate truffles are made with coconut cream, so I wouldn't go overboard on these. It's definitely like a special indulgence to enjoy. But these my mom made. So let's talk about what you put in these, because this is something that I would consider the perfect energy bite to make for breakfast, for snacks, before workouts, after workouts, mid-afternoon, after dinner, dessert. My kids love these. They freeze really well. So tell us what you put in these.
Okay, so this one has banana, has rolled oats, hemp seeds, chia seeds, maple syrup, date syrup, and that's it. Peanut butter. Butter, yeah. And it's good for lactation too if somebody is feeding the baby. It's amazing. I used to make this for Simran when she had her babies.
Yeah, so they're easy to eat, right? They're easy to make, they're easy to store, they're easy to take on the go. So honestly, this is like the perfect snack to just have in your fridge all the time. And they're super high in fiber, high in protein, high in healthy fats from the nuts and the seeds. And they're going to keep you satiated, right? So it'll curb the hunger and kind of keep you full for a longer period of time.
And good treat as well. So.
And they taste so good. So it's just kind of like it satisfies that sweet craving. We used some date syrup in there, as well as a little bit of maple.
This also with it, as we showed you. We were trying to show you because of the cookie dough. Chocolate is still now getting cooler, so you can even dip this in chocolate and cocoa powder and coconut. Let's make it more tastier, but in moderation.
Yeah. And my kids love these. I mean, this is also a great thing to make with your kids in the kitchen.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Yeah. And remember, it's kind of like when you involve your kids, right? If you take them to the grocery store and you talk about the food, and then you bring them home and you have them in the kitchen with you preparing. I know sometimes it's more work, especially when they're younger, but the more involved they are in the process, the more they understand. And the more they understand why they're eating certain foods, because you'll talk about the benefits of the food, but also the more proud they are going to be and will want to actually eat the food because they put the work in making it.
So Tuesdays, she does Taco Tuesday, and she makes sure that her avocados are ripe. So then Sophie and Sage, they do the taco dip together. So I saw her yesterday guacamole. So it was a simple guacamole, but it was
it's very simple. I mean, like, I cut the avocado for them. They scoop out the flesh. They mash it up. They add a little bit of salt. They add a little bit of olive oil, and then I squeeze the lime on top. But they both use the exact same ingredients, but they have a competition of whose is better because they change the amount that they put of each thing. And so it's like a thing in our house now. Every Tuesday, you know, even though they come home from school and they usually have an activity after school, they still make it because now they've owned that this is their thing to do.
Taco Tuesday is quite a fun. Yesterday I was counting it. It was about 11 vegetables on the table. Yeah. And they were like picking and choosing what colors they wanted to put in their plate, and it was really cool. I really appreciated the way she is, making them eat rainbow eating. So
it all comes down to just prep, right? Like and that's what I've learned on my journey. The more prepared you are, usually on the weekend, you do your prep for the week ahead, because during the week, especially, my kids are 6 and 8. And so usually before school, after school is busy, right? And so if you're prepared on the weekend for the week ahead, you know what you're eating. And the other thing that we do is kind of prepare, like she was saying, We're gonna have Taco Tuesday. Well, I already have chopped peppers. I have chopped red cabbage. I have chopped onions. I have chopped not tomatoes because those go bad, but any veggies that'll sit well for a few days. It's good to have them chopped and prepped, and you can keep them in glass containers and they stay good
I
for a few
really
days.
will appreciate if you can do a class with all of us, like create a workshop for all of us how to prepare a meal or a weekly meal or something. You can, give us tips and tricks and your ideas. You create a workshop. I would definitely don't mind paying for it.
I learned everything from you, man.
No, but I'm not that organized the way you are, right? Yeah.
All right. Okay. So that's what we have for you today. I think there's lots of ways to, you know, Rosie Core is saying, how can you stop sugar cravings? So one thing I would say is you didn't get to where you are today, you know, just because of what you were doing yesterday. This has been a long-standing thing of habits and your environment and your routine and everything that have created, you know, what you feel today, maybe the health issues that you're dealing with today. Know that it's a long-standing thing. And so know that when it comes to things like sugars cravings, you know, take the first step, right? Take the first step to doing some of the things that we talked about today, and you will notice over time that your palate will change and that the cravings will go away. I think the biggest thing with sugar cravings is that most of us are eating, and this is true, the American diet is made up of mostly, you know, 60 to 65% processed, ultra processed foods, right? And for kids, it's up to 70% of processed and ultra processed foods. And these foods are completely stripped of nutritional value. They don't have fiber, they don't have good protein, they've been stripped of most of their, you know, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, polyphenols, antioxidants, like any sort of nutritional value has been stripped. So what are these things? Think about most of the things that come in boxes and packages with barcodes. Now, not everything, like I know there are pre-prepped veggies and things you can get in packages, but I'm talking about the cookies and the cakes and, you know, the fast foods and a lot of the frozen meals and a lot of things that, you know, had the good things taken away and had things added that most of us don't have in our kitchens, right? So that's a processed or ultra processed food. And because these foods don't have fibers, because these foods don't have good proteins, what they do is they really act on our dopamine center of the brain, our reward center of the brain, right? And so they make us just be hungry all the time. And we have this thing called, like, you know, we're hangry because we're just constantly on this roller coaster where we eat, our blood sugar goes up and then it goes down, and then we eat again, our blood sugar goes up and then it goes down. And those constant up and down roller coasters of our blood sugar and other hormones is really what leads to the cravings, the constant hunger, the brain fog, the, you know, mood swings, the low energy, the poor sleep, and then ultimately leads to even worse hormonal issues that can lead to pre-diabetes and PCOS and diabetes and metabolic syndrome and so on and so forth. I've talked so much about these things. So know that sugar cravings is a symptom, right? And it's a symptom of the lifestyle that you've been living. It's a symptom of the type of foods you've been eating. And so take the first step in choosing more, you know, fiber rich, protein rich foods. What does that mean? Shop the perimeter of your grocery store, right? Eat more foods that come from nature. You know, these foods, even sweet, like we just bought mango, super sweet. And yes, they do have a higher glycemic index than, say, you know, like an apple, but still, you can still enjoy a mango because it is enveloped in, you know, nature's fiber, right? So, you know, try to find at the beginning, you know, instead of eating a chocolate bar, you know, go for a sweet fruit, or, you know, make something like this. And over time, your palate will change. And I tell this to parents all the time who say like, oh, my kids eat kid food, or they're picky. And yes, there are some kids who really won't eat certain things, but I can tell you from my own experience of now having a 6.5 and 8-year-old is that kids go through seasons of what they will eat and what they won't eat. But your job as a parent is just to continue to offer it to them. And over time, their palate, they will develop a taste for it. Yesterday, you know, usually I try to start our meals with a spoon of sauerkraut, because fermented food is really great for gut health. And sauerkraut is really awesome. And so I give them each a tablespoon of sauerkraut before dinner. And my mom's like, how did you get them to do that? It's just over time. Started with eating one strand of sauerkraut, and then a teaspoon of sauerkraut. And then, you know, over time, they develop the taste and enjoy the tanginess of it now, right? So just know that it's a journey, right? So just don't stop. Don't say it's not for me. I've tried everything. Just keep taking the step in the right direction. And sometimes, Rosie, you need a reset, right? So when your house is on fire, you have to put the fire out first before you can refuel and rebuild that house, right? And so that's why I love programs like Prolon and like the Feel Great system that I talk so much about, because they really give you a reset. They reset your mindset, they reset your palate, they reset your cravings, they kind of just reset everything and give you momentum towards making the healthier food choices. I'm a big proponent of fasting. I think fasting can do wonders in helping us be more intentional with the food choices that we're making. So yeah, I can talk about this forever, but I hope that is a simple answer to your question. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to be ending this soon. And it was so lovely, as usual, for you guys to all join us. Special treat that Minnie's here today. Love it. What is she doing here? Oh, she is rolling up that last truffle to see. She put it in the fridge for a few minutes to see if it would harden up, but you really want to put it for 30 minutes to let the dough harden.
This is the one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So there you go. Shoop. Nice little truffle there. Lovely, lovely. All right, my friends. Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. Min?
Yeah. Bye for now.